I created this festival with Nicholas here called the All My Friends Are Stars Festival. It's something that we started as an idea back in New York when we were living there. And this summer it will be the 9th year of the All My Friends Are Stars Festival. And it started off as a collaboration of us wanting to bring different artists together that we thought were very talented, but we were noticing were maybe not confident to put themselves out and showcase their talents. So what we decided to do was build a stage, and it started with a kind of small concert at a birthday party that I had in New York City. And when we came here to Sweden, we noticed there was a lot of amazing talent. It was really good music, but they were doubting their talents and doubting themselves. And we kind of heard about this Jantelagen culture and figured it was maybe something about that. So we put together this festival, and we gathered a bunch of friends inspired by Swedish Midsummer, and it was amazing.
Yeah, so my name is Nicholas, and it's been great to build this festival over the past 8-9 years now, and see so many great Swedish musicians come through it. And we started with just a small group of friends, but to see now hundreds of artists that have played with the festival in different cities around Sweden, it's been great.
I've been working in the music industry for a number of years, and I've gotten the pleasure and opportunity to work with a lot of very famous artists, A-list artists, top artists in the world, and I felt like there was something missing. It felt like it wasn't really much originality, and the music wasn't maybe as refreshing or uplifting as I would have wanted it to be. And so coming here to Sweden, I was meeting a lot of artists that were really doing the art as an artistry and not just thinking about career. In fact, most of them weren't even thinking about any career at all. And comparing from where I was from in New York City, it was like everyone that has a little bit of talent is trying to be the biggest star, but here people had a lot of talent but were just like hiding away from the world. They didn't want to share the music. So I thought it would be nice that we could all get together and share this music, at least amongst ourselves or a small group of friends, that it would be nice to just give them a chance to see that people would like it and want to hear more. So that was the kind of like looking at someone's light and wanting to showcase it. And even though we dreamed of it getting bigger and bigger and bigger, we could have never imagined that it would get to where it is now, 9 years later. But after we did our first festival, there was so much demand and emotions, people hugging each other and crying, saying, you need to keep doing this every year. So we dedicated ourselves to doing it for the next 10 years consistently every year, and we were able to do that. And we've been helping artists shine ever since. The festival idea came from my very first Swedish Midsummer, where I was with a bunch of friends, and I invited a bunch of other friends that weren't invited to this gathering, and a lot of people here in Gothenburg was like, oh, we don't normally do that, just like connect people with each other. But everyone actually had a good time, and we were singing and dancing around a pole. But I thought to myself, I said, hey, if this was like some live bands here, this would be like a festival. But me just saying the idea, everyone got excited at the table and was like, let's do it. Let's make a festival. We should do it. We'll help you. And I was like, really? I was like, how do I do it? And they were like, we'll help you. We'll figure it out. So they encouraged me, and my beautiful friends encouraged me. And I said, okay, we're going to do this festival. But it was extremely challenging and hard because we had no idea how to do it, where it was going to start. So my friends decided that they would take me around to different organizers and DJs, and I can speak to them and see what their thoughts were. So I didn't know absolutely anything. So I met with some DJs here in Gothenburg, and they told me where I can set up music at and how the police work and if I need a permit or not and where I could rent equipment. And they gave me all the basic information that I needed. And then after that, we spent a couple of weeks scouting around Gothenburg to find a space that we could just put up a bunch of equipment and do a music festival because we didn't have a budget to do any of it. And we were walking around meeting a lot of people, telling people our ideas, and a lot of people wanted to contribute to it. So we had this one music studio loan us music equipment, and we got a chance to borrow that and make it happen. And we did it on a really tight budget. I think the first festival cost about $100 in cash, and that was like for a generator and some gas. The rest of it, everything else was all donated, and one of my friends did sound, and someone else cooked, and everything was donated, and we had about 13 performers, and we made it happen. But it was definitely difficult to plan everything. What would you say?
Yeah, I think it's grown so much that it's important for us to really remember that, and for anybody that's thinking about wanting to create something, that it didn't start big. It started so small, and it wasn't necessarily a business even when we started. It was just an idea that we had with friends. And so doing that and making it with the community is like the best place for us to have started it from, because we didn't have the huge ambitions out the gate, but it allowed it to grow into that. But if we had started with like all of the paperwork and all of the business plans and all of the things that are normally told, oh, you need all these things in order to start a business, it would have felt discouraging. But just making a small version of it, just for 50 people, just for 100 people to experience some nice live music, was the way that it started to grow. And we started to hear more from the people, hey, we want you to do this again. And then we realized, oh, we should actually grow this and continue it.
So every year it just evolves, but we did it from scratch, very grassroots, and we encourage anyone to just start grassroots and start with the fun and start with people that you enjoy working with. Everyone that we created this with were all people that we loved and wanted to create something with, and it worked very well. Yeah, just go for it. I mean, when we first created this festival, we had this one moment where a friend of ours was kind of like picking apart the whole idea, and I don't think they meant anything bad from it, but in their experience they felt like, I don't know if people were really gonna just show up. And I had to get to a place where I said, look, we're gonna do this, and no matter what, we're gonna do it. And if it fails, the worst thing that's gonna happen is maybe a bruised ego, but at least we tried. And from there, my friend supported me, and that friend was super happy that we did it, and it worked out well for everyone. And I was also glad that there was a moment of questioning, because then I had to really decide that I'm gonna do this no matter what. So yeah, I would say no matter what, just keep pushing and go for it.
Yeah, from the beginning, I think Americ's perspective was about giving, and so much giving, it will come back. So anybody that's thinking about making something, just think about providing value to people around you, and just thinking about what they need, what they're looking for, how you can help them, and eventually that will come back to you, whether it's come back to you in the form of money because you're growing a business, or come back to you whether someone sees what you're doing and wants to support you by inviting you to get education or take care of resources, like the amount of great businesses that are out here. Someone might see what you're doing and say, hey, you should join our incubator, or hey, did you know about this program? So it will come back to you.
And we really want to see other artists and creatives creating their own constellations and we had a nice pilot festival in Paris, France, that went very well, where a group of students from a school put together a festival with some local artists, and they connected with each other, had a great time. It was amazing, and they shared videos and photos from the event with us, and it went very well. And we have some other people testing out these smaller festivals with their own friends in their own neighborhoods and venues that they're close to, and that's our vision, to see many festivals happening all across the globe, and having a nice big one here in Gothenburg that everyone can celebrate. That will be the goal for me.